live with episode 3 of the Spaceship Zero and the Slave Ship of Despair. Before we do our little recap, let's go around the table and introduce everybody, starting with substances used. Let them know who you're playing.
Hi, I'm Substances Used, and I'm playing Fran Wickerbottom, the corporate executive.
We've got Frenden.
Hi, I'm Frenden. I'm playing Flash Lightman. I'm a mechanic that is kind of inept, but also somehow inexplicably combined with Astral Glide to become this?
Fair enough. Jentendo is muted.
Hello, my name is Unmuted Jen. Was Muted Jen just here? She's my evil twin.
That's your Kojima name. That's your Kojima name.
Muted Jen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's when I maximize my sneak stats. My name is Jen. Tonight I'm playing Captain Jan Tandar of the Spaceship Zero, which now is no longer ours. It's gone now. Forever. I don't know what I am anymore. Existential crisis ensue.
And finally, rounding out the crew, we have Mr. Abstracto.
I am Dr Abstracto, playing Dr Abstracto. I doctor stuff.
And I am your humble DM. Well, in this case, ZM for Zero Meister. I will be narrating and leading these hapless adventurers through the pulp sci-fi nightmare that is the Slave Ship of Despair. Last week, our heroes had been captured by the slave ship, their Spaceship Zero, tractor beamed in by a giant magnet on a pole and stuck into the hangar bay of a large fish-looking spaceship. They put on their thruster engines, they melted a few aliens, blasted them with their atomic phaser guns, but ultimately succumbed to the ever-present force of the crew of the slave ship. Eventually surrendering when they realized that they were not going to win by force. Our heroes were taken to a dark, cavernous room full of machinery that had drill-like things upon these giant machines. The large, sort of minecart-looking objects, but as big as a house, like as big as a one-story house. Just huge machinery. Every once in a while, grates in the floor would let out a giant gout of flame, lighting up the room for a split second or two. And right at the end of the episode last week, you guys saw a fairly young and attractive woman, albeit with messy hair, dirt all over her face, rags for clothes.
Stop describing me, Jeff. I feel seen.
Stop
it.
They didn't say very attractive. He said fairly attractive.
That is true. She approaches your group kind of timidly. How do you respond? Also, if there's any questions you have for me regarding your surroundings, now is a good time for us to get that all squared away.
So we were kind of in that space with her, like, directly in front of us?
So you are, let me actually bring us over to this scene here. So it's a lot darker in here than what I drew this picture. I wanted it to be able to be seen by everyone. And I think the room's probably a little bit bigger than what's drawn here as well. I don't actually have you guys on this page for scale, but I could put Captain Tandar down here. Actually, yeah, this is about right. This is about right for scale, actually.
Nice.
You're really small. You guys are real small down here.
I mean, I always
I can
enjoyed
zoom
micro
in.
machines when I was a kid. This,
can
is
zoom in.
kind of scratching that itch.
So we can maybe see our heroes here. Here we zoom out to see the whole picture on screen here. You can see how big this room is that you're in. Like you can barely even see the little figures on the stream. But she approaches from farther back, like by those big looking minecart looking things. But here is, we'll put a picture of her up on the screen. So this woman here approaches.
Oh my gosh,
the
she's
group.
huge.
Giant woman.
I mean, she's this is just representative of her. She's not actually this big. But as far as so yeah, this is roughly what she looks like. As according to the character design in the player's like monster manual thing. But yeah, this woman approaches you kind of meekly and timidly from the back of the room. Let's put you over here. But yeah, any questions you want to roll? Any sort of like perception, sort of like, do they have like, I think they have see checks, listen checks in the game.
Yeah. Let's see.
I mean, I would try to speak with her, and because she's speaking English, right? Or like something we can understand. I actually don't know if we speak English, but whatever our version of common is, we speak it.
Right.
I'm gonna do a C check.
Dr.
two
Abstracto is
E's.
as well.
Yeah, I got a 40 in it, so hey, 17. I've rolled under.
I got a 6.
All right. So you rolling C checks. You succeed. You can see from the direction that she came from a few things. I'm gonna kind of move her into the middle here. So this giant object kind of that she's like looking in the direction of looks like a giant hamster's water bottle. And you can actually see and hear some like bloop, bloop, like of water coming out of it. And you can see over where she's not looking in the back here, a sort of, it almost looks like a rain gutter that you would see like on a house or something.
Okay.
But there's like sludge coming out of it. And then from in between these two giant minecart things, you can see the shadows. It's really hard to make them out because it's also like in shadow. But you can kind of make out like the shapes of other humanoid creatures, kind of in and around these things here. Abstracto with an even better score. You can also see there's ladders leading up and into the minecarts, and there's also people like looking up and over the ledges of these things. It seems like they've made makeshift like domiciles or something out of this machinery here.
Interesting. Can I check? Can I go over to the water and use my science biology skill to check to see if it would appear to be safe to drink?
Yeah. So you're just gonna like sort of give this girl like a wide berth and like walk around her to get towards the water.
Give me 1 second. I think I hear my son. I think. Give me a sec.
Okay. Yeah.
You guys keep
Yeah,
going. Sorry.
I'm gonna walk around her, almost as if I'm completely uninterested of her presence.
Fair enough. I'm seeing also some action take twos given out to Jen
nice.
and substances used. I also want to let you know, anyone watching, if you the community goal is back up. I extended it from last week, so you guys are already 75% of the way there to drama time. You kind of give her a wide berth. She's a little timid. She lets you pass, because she doesn't know who you are, if you're friendly or if you're dangerous. So she's not, getting in your way or anything like that either. Let's see here. 64 in biology. What is your score? What's your biology skill number?
It's a 50.
50.
Yeah.
So you get over to this giant water bottle thing. It's dark in here, so you can't really make out if it's like the clarity of the water, if it's nice and clear, or if it's cloudy or anything. It doesn't have much of an odor to it, but given the illumination in here, I don't think you're gonna be brave enough, and maybe you're not. I mean, maybe correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like on a failed check, you probably weren't brave enough to like taste it either, to like see if it's like rusty or anything like that. But yeah,
Yeah,
it
I
was
would think
64. 64. Maybe if you can find like the light switch to this room, or if there's like a way to like get more light in it so that you could like re-examine it later. But yeah, for now, in the conditions that you are currently in, no.
Okay.
But you can you can try it again at a later time if you can change the conditions, or maybe you find like a science kit or something that you could actually test pH and like contamination levels or something. So it's not the end, but for now you're not so sure.
Okay.
Seeing you examine it, I'm going to walk over and give it a look with Techno-How to try to determine if we could potentially ascend the innards of it if we were to empty it to get out of this room.
Okay, yeah,
Like
yeah.
if
That's very clever. I like that.
All right, let me
Drop
roll.
a roll.
I did not succeed.
95. No, I don't think so. So right now you think that you're not sure if it's possible. You can't really see. It's the top of this thing is so high up there. You can't really make out any details of to how this thing is like coming out of the wall, really. And there's also just so much water in this thing that at this point you don't even know how you would like effectively drain this, without like flooding like the room and causing like undue chaos. And we have succeeded with drama time. So the rules for drama time, and this is actually no, I think this is fine. This is okay. So from here on out, our players can no longer do what Ray just did, which was, I want to go inspect that tube with tech know-how. Instead, our players are going to have to speak only in character, as if this was a radio drama. So instead of saying, I'd like to inspect that water tank with tech know-how to see if there's an escape route, Flash could have said something like, all right, guys, I'm going to go with Dr. Abstracto and see if we can't find an escape route through that tube. Something along those lines. And then he would roll and then type in chat what he's rolling and, that kind of thing. And then I could narrate the results. We'll do this until the end of the scene. And then continue the game as normally. But while we wait for Jen to come back, Substances, is there anything, or what would Fran be doing at this point in time? You can type in chat, and I can narrate, or if you have any dialogue you think she would be saying.
So let me get this straight. They think we're like little guinea pigs or something. I see the water over there. Looks like there's like a little slop car off in the corner. Is that food any good? I'm a little hungry. All I've been eating is freeze-dried ice cream for the past while.
Understanding the language of Fran Wickerbottom, this mysterious woman says, I don't know what a guinea pig is, but yes, they give us water and some sort of, I think it's called fish paste from that tube over there.
Oh God, brings back memories from my college days.
What is college?
I'll tell you when you're older. Anyways, what's your name, sweetheart? I'm Fran.
My name is Lula.
Lula. That's a beautiful name, Lula. I'm sure your parents were very proud to give it to you. So, what's the deal in this place? What's going on?
Make a charm check for me. As you try and suss out information from her. Could you also, what are you trying to beat there? Okay. There's something comforting to the sonorous tones of your voice. Maybe something that reminds her of her her like a favorite aunt,
or her parole officer,
or a parole officer. Yeah. She says, well, we've lived here on this ship for, well, as long I was born here. My family has been on this ship for a long time. I don't know exactly where they take these machines or bring them from. I just know that this ship travels all over the galaxy, transporting rocks and machines back and forth from different planets. Although I don't know any of the planets' names.
That's really sad. I'm sorry to hear that.
I've never left this ship.
That's also very sad. Tell you what, how about we take you with us and get you off this ship when we escape?
Do you know like what's on the other side of these doors or nothing?
Well, you know specifically that that's the door that you guys came into this room from when you were brought here. But she'll say, "Well, I've heard the I think I can trust you. Sometimes our hunters have figured out how to lift the door if they're quick enough when the when the fishmen leave, if they're quick enough, they can prop the door open, and that's how they get out, and they hunt. So sometimes we don't have to eat the fish paste. But honestly, those creatures they bring back aren't much better.
Oh. Well, this is a lot more information than I intended to receive, and none of it is positive. So what I'd like to ask next is, what do they do to prop the door open?
She just sort of points, and there's like some old, like, not cinder blocks, but they're about the size of cinder blocks. They're just kind of like raw rock, like they're not carved or anything. They're just like boulders, but about the size of cinder blocks. Maybe a little bit more.
What I'm hearing is the plan to get out and hunt is literally just to put an object under the door there. That's what you do?
I don't know what else we could do.
Do we have any weapons or something we can hit people with?
Our hunters have pointed sticks?
Perfect.
But she kind of susses everybody out. And she says, "Well, I don't know. I'm not supposed to be, out here exploring. We're supposed to stay closer to the huts and to where we sleep. The fishmen don't like it when we wander around, but I just can't help myself meeting new people. It's not all that often, but sometimes new people come and join our tribe. Do you want to meet the rest of our tribe?"
I think bolstering our numbers with some more friends might be beneficial.
Yeah, I mean, I need to meet whoever had this brilliant idea that wedging something under a door would keep it open. It seems like that could be a real boon to our brain trust.
Plus, I'd really like to see some of these hunters that she was speaking about. Hubba hubba.
Lula kind of like looks at Mr. or Dr. Abstracto, and she I don't know, she kind of like gives you the look, she says, "Right, yes, you guys, come with me, and I'll let you I'll introduce you to the rest of my tribe."
Lead the way.
Yeah. So she
Got any whiskey?
she takes you back closer to those like large like mine cart looking things, right? Let's see here. And as you move away from the door, give me a C check.
Right. Nope.
Look at that I see.
So as you are sometimes Dr. Abstracto's short stature actually comes into benefit as you are looking up at Lula, who's a few feet taller than you. Um, you see this giant glass pane here and just barely make out some humanoid shapes, but they're big and fat and round. You think that this window up here is a viewing room, like a monitoring room for this area that the fishmen aliens are keeping these slaves.
Very interesting.
What's that, Doctor? Doctor?
All right, Fran, I have to whisper this to you so other people can't hear it. But I think we're being watched through that window by fat people.
I'm not really good at whispering because my beautiful feminine voice doesn't go that low. However, I completely understand.
Hey, you two. I think that up there is probably where they're watching us.
Overhearing his companions and loudly repeating what he heard, Flash inadvertently clues in Lula to the fact that there's maybe people behind that window. And she looks at it for almost the first time. She gets you can see in her face that perhaps this thing that was always there for her whole life, she's looking upon it with a new sense of oh shit. And she says, no, I don't know, it's just I've never seen through it. It's always been dark, but if that is true, then we should get out of sight. And quickly ferries rushes you guys over into the sort of tent city in between these two giant carts.
Well, thank you for the help. That was very attentive of you.
I mean, sometimes people don't pick up on the obvious things in their surroundings when they've been raised there their whole life. You also get the sense, without even having to roll, that these are not humans of what you would consider average intelligence. It's almost like their understanding of their environment is, or at least for Lula, the rest of the tribes people maybe a little bit more clued in, but it almost seems like they are, I don't want to say caveman-esque intelligence, but for lack of a better word, yeah, she seems to be working on a caveman level intelligence. She doesn't really seem to understand the technology. I know you didn't ask her how the door worked, but you get the sense that she would be I don't know, it goes up and it goes down and it only seems to work for the fishmen. That's why we put a rock under the door if we want to get out to hunt, she doesn't really know, she doesn't seem to know how the things actually work in here. But as you guys get closer to this tent area, there's a couple fires burning, and in the light of the fires, as she can start to see your faces better, she looks at you, Captain Tandar, and says, oh my, you're back. You're back. And she starts saying, everyone, look, the chosen one is back. How do you respond to this?
I try to be as respectful as possible because this person feels very strongly about me for some reason. They said chosen one, not chosen ones.
Yes, singular. Singular.
Can I ask why I am a chosen one?
Yeah.
No, I'm saying that to her. I'm saying, can I ask why I am a chosen one?
She kind of looks at you funnily and then says, it must be a test. The chosen one is testing me. Yes, you left instructions with our tribal leader, the Ancient One. You said that you were going to go find help, and she motions to the rest of the group, and that you were going to come back and free us. You're back. You're going to free us.
I would say that is what we are planning on doing. Yes, and I have brought back help. I gestured to the rest of the crew.
Hail.
She gets really excited and starts saying, yes, we need to take you to the Ancient One. He must speak with you. He will be so excited that you've returned. And she starts getting excited about all this. A kind of buff guy who, and I apologize, I neglected to draw a picture of him. But a buff dude, kind of like, let's just assume he looks like Tarzan or, Conan the Barbarian, like that kind of, classic muscle man, loincloth kind of dude. He's got what you assume Lula was referring to as a pointed stick. It's actually like some rebar that looks like it was like broken off or something. Okay. But it's about a meter long, a yard, a meter, it's a big pokey stick thing. He's got it in his hand and he comes over and he says, just a minute. Nobody's gonna see the Ancient One without me having anything to say about it. And I don't know who all the rest of yous are, even if she is the chosen one. You all are gonna have to prove yourselves by going through the gauntlet.
I would like to attempt to persuade this large gentleman to say that and in my persuasion what I would say is as we're in a very confusing situation and myself and my crew are trying to understand how we are here to help you. I will say I'm not 100% certain how we have come to be known as the chosen one, but we are definitely here to help release you, and I think seeing this Ancient One would probably be the best thing for us.
So with your admitting that you're not sure why you're the chosen one, I'm actually going to have you make this with a minus 15 to your roll.
I still pass. I rolled a 21 under my 55.
Fair enough. All right. He looks at you and he says, all right. You can talk to the Ancient One. The rest of them, they're gonna have to become members of the tribe before they get any such privileges.
Can I wait and watch them become members of the tribe before I go see the Ancient One?
He kind of shrugs. And as this conversation is playing out, you see like 4 or 5 more kind of tribal warrior hunter looking guys come out. Relatively same physique, anywhere between 5'10" and 6'2", well, athletic builds. And
so like me.
Yeah. He says, he kind of counts. Yeah, he counts heads, and then he also sees Ashton and Benson kind of like behind you guys. And he only counts out the 3 of you, and then he like sees these other 2, and he's just like, nah, he just like writes them off completely. Like Dr. Ashton's like a 70-year-old like woman who's probably would get broken in half by these trials, and Benson looks like such a wet blanket that he's not even worth like talking to at all for this guy. Like he lacks so much respect for Benson that he's like not even like doesn't even register this guy. He says to the rest of you, we have 3 challenges that you can take part in. You can run our obstacle course. You could wrestle me. Or you could knife fight Butch. And he like thumbs, kind of like, gestures with his thumb to a guy who's probably like 6'6", 6'7", just lots of muscle, lots of scars all over his body. Looks like he knows how to knife fight.
You said you want to wrestle? I don't think you mean the way that I'm thinking, but I think you can pick up what I'm putting down when you know that I want to wrestle ya.
uh,
I'm using my reroll.
with with the 33 under 60, he kind of looks at you and for a brief moment you think you might be getting through to him, but he says, Lula's my girl, and only Lula.
She can join in, I don't mind. I think she's cute too.
I mean, Lula's standing there. Make another charm check. Lula doesn't seem opposed to this. She's not saying anything, but she kind of gives this guy a look, and then she looks back at you, and she's kind of like, meh.
I'll show you what my
Could do
people
worse.
used to do. I'll teach you what we call the French tickler.
Oh man. So, but yeah, before like any of that happens behind a darkened screen, as it were, during the commercial break, our tribal warrior does ask for you all to choose. You don't have to choose different things. You can double up on stuff, but everyone's gonna have to choose one of those 3 things. The obstacle course you think is probably more acrobatic in nature. Wrestling you think is more athletics than like true combat, and you think that the knife fight is like obviously melee weapon combat like skills, for you guys to like figure out like what you think your characters would actually do best at.
May Dr. Abstracto check his pockets to see if he can feel any kind of a sedative?
If you want to use a 0 die to add that piece of information, then you can. Otherwise, you basically got to take nothing off of the 0. And they took all of your weapons and things that they could find on you.
Okay, I'm gonna use a 0 die. How do I do that? Do I just say I use a 0 die?
You say you use it, and you also take off 1 from like your character sheet or wherever you're keeping track of how many you have. I think each of you should have like the capacity to bank like 2 to 4 or something like that. It should say on your character sheet how many that you can bank.
You do have at least 1 because you start each new session with 1 point.
Right.
Okay, so since I used a 0, does that mean I do feel a sedative in my pocket?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can like add some like minor details to a scene and stuff like that. So yeah, you have a sedative in your pocket.
I'll wrestle you.
All right. All right. This guy looks down at you. Lula looks at you, and you know she's got the hots for you. He's like, "Ha! This is gonna be easy. I'ma crumple him up in a ball and throw him in the trash compactor." And Lula goes, "Telden, no, you can't. Look at him. You'll kill the man."
Dr. Abstracto, are you sure that you want to go through with this?
I'm sure.
You're so brave. Such bravery in such a small package.
All right. So it looks like Abstracto is volunteering to do some wrestling first. The other tribal warriors kind of get around you in a circle. Telden starts to do some stretches, and let's see here. Interesting. My notes say athletics, but that does not look like it is an actual skill within the skill sheet here. But I'm assuming you're gonna use that sedative on him anyway, so...
I would assume it would be under fisticuffs, because fisticuffs isn't necessarily a weapon, it's more so the ability to move around and scuffle.
Yeah. That makes sense. So yeah, we'll use fisticuffs for that. Alright. Let's roll initiative between you two to see who goes first. That's a D10 plus whatever you have for your initiative.
Oh.
So yeah, I think Telden's going first. Let me see if I'll have to find his statistics real quick. All right. Here we go. Hey, PDF, how about you stop lagging? Alright. Handling. Where is the fisticuffs? Number. Balance. Alright. Interesting. Alright. He's not. I mean, it doesn't look like he's the best at. Oh, wait, never mind. I found it. Okay. He doesn't have a terrible fisticuffs, but he's not that great at it either. But he does succeed on a fisticuffs roll, which honestly might be in your best interest. He quickly just darts in and starts like grabs you by the shoulder and kind of like spins you around and like starts putting you in a headlock, right?
Perfect.
All right. It is your turn. You're kind of in a headlock. You got one of your arms is free, but the other one's sort of like pinned down in this grapple move.
Okay. What do I roll to grab the sedative and stick him with it?
I'm gonna say it's a fisticuffs roll as well. Even melee, like weapon melee, I would also accept that.
Okay.
Man, it's like I got something in my eyeball.
I guess fisticuffs is the only one I've got.
That is a basic skill, yeah. So at the very least, you have your balance score, unless you put skills into it. Yeah.
I
I
failed.
also have a
It's
hair.
you do have a take 2.
Oh, I do have a
You do
take
have a
two.
take
That's
two.
right.
And it's your balance score times 2 plus 1 or plus 10.
For fisticuffs?
I think so, unless I put points in fisticuffs, but I don't think I did. Because for skills, it's always the base skill times 2,
Oh, right.
and then we added 10 to everything.
Okay. Yeah, my fisticuffs is accurate. Damn. Still failed.
Even worse. Teldon is going to roll. He sees you. So the two of you, you try and stick him with the syringe. He sees that and he tries to like reverse it and like stick you with the syringe. But right now, it's just kind of like this, right? You're just sort of both struggling. One, you're trying to like stick him, and he's trying to force you to stick yourself, and yeah, it's just sort of just like a back and forth here as you two are wrestling. It goes back to your turn there, Dr. Abstracto. Failed with a 35. All right.
Dr. Abstracto,
again.
be careful.
You are still just back and forth trying to do this. Teldon's trying like a different tactic, trying to like trip you, but your center of gravity is just so low that it doesn't work. It goes back to your turn.
Can I do something to assist?
Yeah, roll initiative for me and we'll see where you pop up here.
Okay, this is the D10, yes.
We'll do 10 plus whatever your initiative is.
That is the 2.
Okay, so you'll go after Mr. Abstracto here.
Okay.
All right. What's the rule of cool? Can you explain that to me again, real quick?
You describe something, and then if it's relatively feasible and not ultra game breaky, you use a 0 die to make it happen.
Okay.
So like it might be
what
cool for you to grab this guy and fly up like Superman and then power bomb him into the ground. But that's so far out of the realm of what this genre is about that I wouldn't allow that as the rule of cool, right? There are some limits to this,
Well, what I was thinking was I wanted to try to use my never mind. That wouldn't work. Now that I'm reading it, I'm just gonna do what I normally do.
Okay.
And hope for the best. Fisticuffs. Damn it.
All right, that takes us over to Fran.
Dr. Abstracto, be careful. Slowly. Zip. She's showing off the cleavage to try and distract the big muscly guy.
Oh my god.
With persuade charm.
Didn't work.
I see what you're doing, and then I think, what's to say he's even into ladies? And then I rip my jumpsuit in half and try the same thing.
Oh my god.
And I fail miserably.
Unfortunately for both of you, it looks like Teldon is just very focused on winning this this wrestling match here. Boy, oh boy, he sucks at wrestling apparently, because I suck at rolling things. Brings us back to Abstracto in the initiative order. Perhaps a +10 to everything wasn't enough of a boost in this game.
Oh, I didn't even. What did we get a +10 to?
At the end of
Every
last
skill.
session, with all the misses, I gave you a +10 across the board to everything.
Okay, I forgot to do that. That's my bad. I still haven't succeeded, but
Okay.
nope, still didn't do it.
Definitely not there. Are you doing anything this time around, Fran?
I'm gonna do a bluff check and say, Dr. Abstracto, use your super secret kung fu technique.
It's not gonna work.
Oh my gosh. You know, for a game that isn't match or roll under, we're doing really good. We're like in the 90s, you guys. But for this game, that's not so great. Oh, man. Hey, Teldon finally gets one over on you, and that sedative right into your thigh. Abstracto, please make an endure check for me.
All right.
If you succeed on
Endure,
this,
endure.
you will have a -30 to continue the fight, and if you fail, you pass out.
I pass out.
No, Dr. Abstracto. He was so young, actually. I don't think he was, but he was so young.
So you go limp and fall to the ground. Teldon says, he tried to use a weapon on me, and I was able to use that weapon on him instead. And Lula like rushes out and she's like, no, Teldon, you killed him. This poor small little hunk of a man. He's like, I don't like you talking like that about other men. Lula, it really hurts my feelings. You're supposed to be my girl. She's all like, but you didn't have to kill him, you big brute. What?
He's definitely dead. I can tell. I've checked the body, and it is in fact true. Dr. Abstracto is deceased.
Mr. Abstracto, will you please roll a 4-sided die for me? I don't know what the mechanics for this are, so I'm defaulting to D&D. You're gonna be out for 2 hours unless someone can like wake you up. But with it being drugs, that's probably gonna be hard. It'll probably be a first aid check with like at a -30 because of it's literally drugs that's put you to sleep, right? It's not just like, oh, he fainted, right?
Indeed.
So with one of you not making it into the tribe and therefore you're not going to be talking to the village elder, Teldon kind of, says, yeah, that's right. Now which one of yous is next?
I mean, I'll give it a shot. I've already ripped off my jumpsuit. Least I can do is oil up and try to take you down. And I think I'm going to, in that moment, like immediately just try to grapple with him, like grab his hands and see if he'll go that route.
All right, yeah, sure. Roll just like a straight up. Guess it would be. I'll give you balance or bravado. Just
Okay.
your straight skill to see, like, how quick you are. Like,
I'll go balance. I'll try balance.
okay.
Let's see. Oh, I super succeed.
All right, cool. I'll give you let's say a plus 30 on this. You surprise him with your just your agility to just jump right in. Like Abstracto's body hasn't even been drug out of the ring yet, you know, the circle of people that surrounds the fight area. You just hop on in there, plus 30 to your fisticuffs. Let's see what happens.
All right, plus 30 to fisticuffs. That is a fail by like 17.
Really?
Yeah, because that plus 30, or wait,
Plus to
a
your
plus
score. To your actual skill score.
Then that's like to succeed by 60 then.
Okay. Yeah, so
Yeah.
like if you had like a 15.
Yeah. I
the
thought you were
plus
saying
30
make it
would be-
harder, not easier.
No. Makes it easier. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Because you surprised
Then I
him.
succeed.
So you succeed.
Yeah.
All right. You've got the upper hand on him in this fight. You've already got him grappled. Let's roll for initiative here.
All right, so that's a D10, right? Initiative is? Yeah.
Yeah, and then plus
A modifier, yeah, if we
your
have one.
modifier, yeah. All right. So he actually has the same initiative modifier as you, but because he was surprised in the first round, I'll say that you go first. Fran, do you have a modifier to initiative?
No.
Okay, you rolled higher naturally, so it'll go Flash, Fran, Tilden.
Nice. I fail what I was trying to do.
Fair. But we're gonna start at the top of initiative anyway. So Flash, you got the surprise on him. You got him grappled. What's your next thing?
I am going to try to bring my elbow down on his nose with fisticuffs, I think, if that's okay with you.
Yeah. So this will just be
Alright,
a
and-
normal fisticuffs roll.
Yeah. Which for me, let me double check, because I was just looking. Okay, I need to roll under a 50, actually. Oh, there we go.
There you go, 49. That is under 50. You just bop him right on the nose. He's kind of staggered, you know, after that last fight. That was a lot of just struggling back and forth, but eventually he won. He's a little tuckered out, you know. Not gonna lie. I mean, Abstracto is a bulk of a man, you know. He's got some strength to him. Just kind of, you know, wearing down this guy's endurance. That'll go over to Fran as Tilden is a little bit dazed by this bop to the nose.
And my flash was unsuccessful because when I thought you said Flash, I forgot his name was Flash, and I thought you were referencing to me trying to flash him to distract, which is exactly what I was doing.
Fair enough. Although with a score of 69, one would think
Out of
that
60.
should work, right? Unfortunately. So Tilden is going to try and do some fisticuffs here as well. And he just doesn't make it. He is dazed. He's kind of like, he starts throwing, you know, not haymakers, but like he's just like throwing his fists around wildly, hitting you, Flash. But it's just, he's so disoriented that it's not really like, it's not affecting you at all, right? Like it's not like hurting you or anything. What is your next action in this tete-a-tete?
Sleight of hand, I'm going to try to pull his loincloth up over his face like a hockey jersey.
Okay. Yeah.
I succeed. I
You
need to roll under a
succeed.
60.
So with that, you pull the his like little thing up over his head. Are you imagining this? Because I never specified. Are you imagining this more of like the Tarzan, like, you know, over one shoulder kind of tunic kind of loincloth? Or are you imagining this more of like an atomic wedgie, like Conan just belt, you know, tidy whitey cut of like a loincloth?
Um, I pictured it as just like you said, like Conan. So I
Yeah.
pictured I was like grabbing the fur and just like essentially ripping it off him and throwing it over his head.
Okay. So bare-assed, junk to the wind, you pull his loincloth up and over his head, and in a mix of surprise and sheer embarrassment, everyone starts laughing, and you are declared the victor of this particular wrestling match.
Yay.
The crowd doesn't really know how to react. They're surprised, but they're also like embarrassed for Teldin at the same time, because he's like the head hunter dude, you know, like he's their best combatant, and you've just completely embarrassed this guy in front of like all of his friends, like all of his like dude bros, right? Like you basically just shamed the quarterback in front of his team.
Yeah, I'm
Nice.
sorry about that, but we just kind of wanted to like see your tents and all this bravado and stuff. Like we just wanted to talk to somebody. But if you want, I could keep beating people in the face.
Lula says, no, you don't have to keep fighting. You've won a place here in our tribe. You are now a full member of the tribe for winning the wrestling match against Teldin, our greatest hunter. But that leaves only one person, Fran Wickerbottom. You have a choice
I choose to wrestle.
You choose to wrestle.
And I do an intimidation roll first off, and I look him dead in the eyes as I crack my knuckles and say, if you thought he embarrassed you, you might just want to accept me in the tribe before we get started.
All right.
Oh my god! I can't do it to save my life.
Does anybody want to give substances a reroll on this?
Someone give me a reroll. Please.
Rachel, Alien Wizardess,
I was so close.
Mr. Abstracto's lover, anybody.
Yes.
I don't know if I should count that. You're A, on the show, and B, unconscious.
Yeah, you can't blame a man for trying.
Can I do
Do what?
Can I do a 0 dice to add a third D10 to that and rearrange it, or is that before I roll?
I'm being told the take two option is out of stock.
Really? Let me double check that real quick. But Alien Wizardess, there's a take two action. The thing that that Abstracto just used is a allows them to re-roll. Let me go see how I set that up, because I think it may be per person. It may be a per person thing. If I can even find it. The fuck? Wait, what? Why can't I even see it?
Actually, I'm gonna use a 0 dice to make this a lucky shot to turn it into a regular success. That's what I'm gonna do. Because I have the 0 dice, I might as well use it.
Oh, it's a 5-minute cooldown. I see. All right, it's a 5-minute cooldown. Well, in that case, I'll let it slide this time.
Well, I decided to just use a 0 dice to make it a regular success instead of a failure.
Gotcha. Okay.
Lucky shot.
Fair enough. So yeah, with the use of your 0 die and the sheer embarrassment, Teldon's just like, fine, whatever, it's fine. You get the sense that Teldon, first of all, you guys, you get the sense that this is something that they do. This is sort of like an initiation thing. But perhaps they're going a little bit harder on you, where Teldon was going a little bit harder on you because the Chosen One's back, but maybe it's not the Chosen One. Also, people were hitting on Lula. Lula was looking like she was making eyes at, Mr. Abstracto, so there's like some jealousy here. So, he kind of, but with the sheer embarrassment of getting his loincloth pulled over his head, he just doesn't have like the emotional like bandwidth to like go on with his like charade of machismo, right? And just he's like, fine, whatever, you're in the tribe, good job. And he kind of like runs away.
Just...
yeah. He hit him and his bros. He kind of like goes. He's like, yeah, don't worry, dude. Like, it's just a fluke, man. Like, I mean, who does that to a guy, right? Like how is that? Like, he's a cheater, man. Like, you totally would have won if it wasn't for him cheating like that, dude. Like, totally, man. But but yeah, so Abstracto, even you're kind of let in after the fact, even though you
planned success,
you got yourself knocked out with a injectable sedative, but you all kind of owe it all to Flash for embarrassing Teldon with that, pulling the loincloth over his head and exposing his undercarriage to everybody. And with that, we are about halfway through the show. I know Captain Tandar just got back, but we are going to go to a quick commercial break, and when we come back, our group will be led to the Ancient One to learn just a little bit more about what it means that someone in the group's the Chosen One. Stick around, we'll be back in just a few minutes.
You've heard about the Star Cruiser, the Star Skipper, and the Space Hopper. But Space Corp would like to introduce you to our newest rocket yet. Brand new for the year 2000, Space Corp is unveiling the Spaceship Zero. The first ever ship of its kind outfitted with a new interstellar engine we call the Better Than Light drive. Better than light, you ask? Why, yes. Our new proprietary technology outpaces the competition when it comes to light speed drives. Our new engine creates a gravitational field in front of the ship, effectively turning the Spaceship Zero into a sled sliding down an infinitely long hill. The best part is the BTL drive can create a gravitational pull so strong it propels the Zero faster than the speed of light. And it does it with less fuel than our competitors, who are still limited by light speed. Be sure not to miss our inaugural flight on June 5th of this year. Are you living a boring life? Sick of the drab surroundings at the office? Tired of the monotony of your daily routine? Then look no further, adventure seekers. Space Corp is the place for you. Join our team of scientists, engineers, pilots, and staff. Adventure in the stars await all those who seek a break from the rigors of modern life. Take a break from Earth, explore Mars, mine resources in the asteroid belt. Perhaps you'll even be lucky enough to be the first human to make contact with an alien species. There are no limits to how far you can go with Space Corp. Head to your local recruitment center today to sign up for a life-changing adventure. Remember the days when families could leave their doors unlocked at night? It's a sad truth, but as the world gets smaller and global pressures surround us, more and more people find themselves the target of violence. We here at Space Corp seek to preserve the golden age of our country, a time when people could feel safe in their houses and not need to worry about threats lurking in the dark of night, just waiting for a chance to steal what you value most. Introducing a newfound peace of mind, the Atomizer from Space Corp. Say goodbye to your rusted old service revolver and your hunting shotguns for home security, and say hello to the future. With the Atomizer, you'll only need one shot to put down any home intruders and would-be murderers. That's right, just one shot, even a glancing blow, and this new energy weapon will dissolve the no-good ne'er-do-well into a pile of fine particles that you can suck up with your handy-dandy Space Corp wall-mounted vacuum-suck hand vacuum. Find both at a retailer near you. Summer's here. Mom is baking pies. Dad is dusting off the grill. And the kids are getting ready for a summer of fun cookouts and pool parties. To celebrate our great nation's birth and independence, we at Space Corp want to remind you that we value your communities and your families. That's why this summer, we are happy to announce our new war suit. 8 feet tall, oxygen tanks, built-in telecommunications array, and best of all, it only needs 4 Space Corp atomic batteries per hour to function. So this summer, as you are enjoying Dad's skills on the grill, remember that the men and women of the U.S. Space Navy are protecting our great nation with Space Corp brand war suits.
Let's get back into it. We are back from the break. Before the break, our crew was accepted into the Space Slaves tribe. Our Captain Tandar was potentially named as the chosen one of this tribe. Apparently, she's been here before and promised to come back and save everybody from this place. And before the group was allowed to meet the Ancient One, who supposedly has more information for them, the group had to earn their place within the tribal society that has developed here on the slave ship of Despair. Bringing you back into the scene, you guys have indeed been brought to the Ancient One's tent, and we'll put Lula over here, and we'll make her a little bit smaller. She'll be around. She may say something. She's kind of like orbiting the situation. But you
orbiting my situation.
You see this old guy come out from like a larger tent, from somewhere they've found canvas and poles and things, and have made rudimentary structures in and among the mine carts and stuff. And this old man comes out to greet you. He's probably like 5'6", all hunched over, probably taller and when he was younger, but he's got that old man hunch, long white beard, just a little wisp of hair on top of his head.
Yeah,
kind of like Fry from Futurama, how he has like the flip up in the front. It's like that's the only part of that haircut that remains. You feel like he probably had that haircut back in the day. But he kind of comes out and says, "What's all of this racket? Who are you? Oh, the chosen one. You're back. You're back. I didn't think it was possible. You left so long ago, when I was merely taking over the... In fact, you don't look like you've aged a day, and I'm an old man. How is this possible?"
Well, what I am going to guess is, so we were on our ship, and our ship traveled through some time, and my guess is that I haven't actually met you yet in my timeline, because this is my first time meeting you.
Oh, Captain, you're smart. I would have never thought of that.
I am not smart, merely confused.
I'm just confused and definitely not smart.
So, do you think that when everything reset, that you're actually also here? Like, there might be two of you now?
Or maybe in the near future, we get back on our ship, potentially. Fingers crossed. But call me an optimist.
You're an
So,
optimist.
Thank you.
She
Don't do
was-
anything I say just because I'm the chosen one.
I'm
I
sorry.
would call her.
Go ahead, Ray.
I'm sorry, Ray. What were you saying?
I would call her the prime optimist. The optimist prime.
That checks out.
He asks you, I don't know anything about, what did you say, time travel? But I have kept the relics that you gave us safe. I have the ancient scroll, and I have the amulet. And he takes off this necklace that he's wearing, and he hands you this quote-unquote amulet. But you know this amulet isn't actually an amulet. It's a data disk. It's a data disk that can be read by the computers on the Zero after, the ambient tachyon particles recharge the batteries, and you can, once you can start it up again, this has just a data disk. It has probably some useful information on it once you can get back to the Zero and potentially read it. But
Thank him for holding on to this and for taking such great care of it.
He says, "Well, if this is the first time you're meeting me, then it wouldn't be so lucky for you to have figured out a plan to get us out of here, have you? You were supposed to develop a plan and bring back help. I thought this was the help. I thought you were going to come free us."
I think this is the help that I've brought back. Maybe I believed. Go ahead.
I would like to object and just say I don't consider myself help so much as like a collaborator. Like, what do they call those people that are equals that do things with folks? Help is kind of a derogatory term.
He kind of thinks about it a little bit. "I'm not sure. I've been the oldest and the leader of this tribe for so long. I've forgotten what it's like to have a true equal among my people."
Oh,
I'd like to
man.
introduce the rest of the crew to him.
Okay.
I would say, crew, feel free to introduce yourselves. You have made yourselves worthy to be here. Have we? I missed that part.
Yeah.
We
Okay.
did. Yeah.
Kinda.
Okay. Oh no.
Technically, yes.
technically correct is the best kind of correct, is what they taught me at the academy.
It's true.
I'm
So
Flash Lightman. I repair things poorly most of the time.
oh, yes, you could come in handy. Long ago, our people lost any knowledge of the workings of our surroundings. We are at the whim of our fishy foes, our perilous protectors. These pescatarian punks, if you will.
Wait, they eat fish? These fish?
Wait, is that what that word means? I mean, oh wait, are we the... He kind of goes into an existential crisis for a moment as Fran introduces herself.
Yes, hello. I am Fran Wickerbottom. I am the most beautiful corporate executive from my planet, and I am here to help, I suppose.
You're certainly the most beautiful corporate executive that I have ever seen.
And don't you ever forget it, young man.
I also don't know what a corporate executive is.
I'll show you later.
You short man, who are you? Perfect.
I kick I kick Dr. Abstracto in the butt just a tiny bit, just to see if he'll wake up.
What happened? Did I
You need
win?
to introduce
I beat him?
yourself to these pescatarians.
Who
I'm a
are you,
doctor.
man? A doctor? What is that?
He's a healer.
Oh, a shaman.
Sure.
We haven't had one of those in a generation or more. You too could come in handy. After introducing everyone, he says, "We have kept the ancient scroll safe. Would you like it back, chosen one?"
Yes, please, if only for a moment to review it. What do you use the scroll for right now?
We keep it safe. You told us to keep it safe.
Okay, then I'll take it back. Thank you.
He goes back into his tent. You hear some rummaging around. Something metal falls onto the floor. You hear, "Oh, damn it!" He says, "Oh, there it is." You hear a drawer shut. He comes back with a
The
scroll.
sound of a chicken.
Yeah, just a random chicken. He comes back with a scroll. We would refer to it as toilet paper. But
The
Well, I
last
created this
roll
scroll.
after the coronavirus pandemic.
I created this scroll, so I don't look down my nose at these people at all.
he brings you this roll of toilet paper.
Oh my god, I look at the size of that, I can tell it's a double scroll.
And he gives it to you, and you can immediately tell there's writing on this scroll. And let me actually see. Is that gonna open up? Okay. I'll read this to if you want. I can read this, or I can copy and paste it to you, and you can read it. Which would you prefer?
You just read it.
Okay. I can copy and paste it.
I was
well.
gonna say, if you read it, you have to read it in my voice. Because I wrote it. Yeah.
Okay. I can't do that.
Well.
I'm not that good at impressions.
Well.
What page is this on? Here we go. All right, let me copy and paste this for you then. Copy that. I'll just put it in the game chat there. Hopefully that works. Yeah, that worked well enough. All right.
Oh, okay. All right, let's see. It's the third day of my journey, and while I realize the importance of my mission, I can't help but feeling that I won't be coming back from it. Dutch used to tell me that he thought every mission was a suicide mission, and that the important thing was to never let your men know you thought this way. This time it's different. It isn't just the fact that the fate of the resistance and hence our entire species hangs in the balance. I've been there before, and I've always come back, always won, but it's always cost me. Last time it was Angela. Whoa, hello. The time before it was an entire ship of good men. Sometimes I wonder if he was even worth the price, if it ever is. Still, this time it's different. There's no backup. No companions, no Space Corps rocket ships ready to pull my ass back from a re-entry plunge. I wish they were here, but I won't lose another friend or shipmate again, so here I am crammed into the smuggling hold of a space pirate vessel, surrounded by toilet paper and felt-tip pens. It's a pretty interesting cargo hold. Outside, I can hear the frogs cracking open crate after crate. They know I'm here. Why else would they be scouring the belt for this ship at this time? I can't believe we trusted Captain Malcolm. I can't believe I trusted him. Now there's barely enough time to scrawl this note and hide the package before they find me. With luck, I can make a break for an escape pod or something. I've been in tighter scrapes than this, and a bit of spaceman's luck has always gotten me through before. But I can't shake the feeling this time is different. If you found this, it means I didn't make it. If you value Earth, take the package to the Lucky Canuck Grill in the ruins of Calgary, Alberta. Ask for Lefty Wainwright and mention my name. You'll need the secret passphrase, which I have coded below. Don't forget, because he won't ask twice if he will gun you down where you stand, if you flub it. Good luck. And then there's letters. BSF, ZPV, IVNBO. I assumed I was supposed to read it. I read it aloud to everybody.
Yeah. Oh, you can read it aloud to everybody. You can have read it to yourself. That's fine. He the old man says, I have read this many times, so much that I have memorized it. And everyone else, you could actually see him as Captain Tandar was reading it. He was sort of mouthing along like like he's just like mouthing along, right? With what she was saying. Like he basically has memorized this. He's like, but I don't understand it. What does it mean?
Do I recognize any of the names on here? Any of the people? Lefty, Captain Malcolm, Angela. Do I recognize any of these names? Dutch.
Let me see here. Reading here. Hands on. Wrinkly. Oh wait, let me copy this as well. As I am reading this information to see what I can tell you. You also find this on the back. Some more coded language.
I love a good code. And then write it down, because that's what I like to do. These were terrible.
It's not telling. I'm not seeing here if the module says that you actually have any. If this makes any sense to you. So what I'm going to say is that the specifics don't make sense to you. But some of those names do seem familiar. Like you went to an academy with a Malcolm who was on track to become a captain. In fact, like he was a captain of a different ship. He wasn't the captain of the Zero, from what you remember. He was on a star skipper out of Space Corp. Angela was in a class younger than you, like 1 year younger than you. She wasn't on the captain track, but she was getting trained, as some kind of employee. You either don't remember or feel free to make something up. I don't have a specific for that.
I was gonna say, why don't I ask Fran about this? Because Fran is corporate. Fran would likely have this information about at least our timeline, like, or at least might. So I would ask Fran, like, Fran, do you know of where these people landed in the company, academy, etc.?
So yeah, I believe the names were Dutch, Angela, and Captain Malcolm for the Space
Lefty.
Corp people.
Lefty from Alberta.
Yeah.
Oh. What about Jersey from Brooklyn? Or Brooklyn from Canada?
Righty from Florida.
Oh. I heard he left Chad hanging once.
Do I gotta roll something or?
No, this is just feel free to RP it.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if you want, you could roll brains to see if you remember anything. But
let's see.
yeah, feel free just to make stuff up.
Dutch, he made it into, what was it? He was in some R&D division, last I remembered, in our time. Angela was another up-and-coming corporate executive, I think. She wasn't really quite cut out for the militaristic style. And the captain, I think we just put him on a mission that went before ours, but it was a flub.
I hate when they're flubs.
Well, it sounds like this confirms that this is a different timeline. In this timeline, I am dead.
Does that mean you get a lot of back pay since you've been alive this whole time?
Fran?
I'm sorry, what?
No, he's asking. Flash asked if I get back pay since I was presumed dead, but actually have come back.
Hazard pay because you died too.
I mean, if those forms still exist, we'd have to figure it out.
Oh no, Fran, the real tragedy is that you have to learn all the new forms.
I can't go through another training. I won't survive.
No, it's right.
The good news is that punching things still works in this universe, so I can prove a value, because despite being an engineer, I dumped all of my points into punching things.
I would ask the ancient one if he knows about the frog people, because we've only encountered the fish people.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Good thinking.
So roll a persuade. It can be charm, bluff, intimidate. I don't know. Whichever.
Persuade.
Yeah, one of your
I'll do persuade leadership.
Yeah.
I'd like to take one of my 0 dice and turn it into a success.
He says, "Oh yes, it must be a test. Yes, you must be testing me, chosen one. Yes, the frog people, all the fish people. You used to call them the frogmen, but I always thought they looked more like fish than frogs."
I mean, they're pretty amphibious when you look at them, like I can't quite tell what they is.
He kind of just nods along. He's like, yes, he's not denying that. Fish, frog, it's all the same to me. They're not human, and they're not natural, and they've enslaved us, and we need to escape.
Well, yeah, I mean, we knew that. Is that what we find the ancient person in camp, and they tell us what we done tried to do in all this time? I mean, yeah, I mean, combined forces is good, but of course we want to escape.
Yes, we don't have. All we have are some pointed, metal rods, the fish or frogmen, is whatever you want to call them. They have guns that have lasers that disintegrate people and turn us into piles of dust. We can't mount a force against that. That's why you are. I thought that's why you were here to bring back up and help us to escape.
Well, let me see what I can do about that. And I'm going to start rummaging around for materials that I think could potentially refract or reflect laser bolt fire in here.
Okay, yeah. Let me see if there is a specific thing for like searching, other than like C.
Right.
I
think there might be. I thought there was something.
Like there's like tech, build, and repair. And
yeah.
Like tech know-how. Also like wilderness survival. I definitely think like you know what? Let's go. Probably have better like results of tech know-how. It's not like stuff is hidden around. It's more like
do I know what it? Yeah,
like
the materials of it.
Yeah, determining the properties of the materials that you can find is probably better.
Oh, I succeed.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, you find some like pieces of metal that with a little bit of clever thinking you could probably like polish to a relative shine and maybe use as like something to reflect laser fire or something along those lines. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how much abuse this is going to stand up to. It might absorb a bolt or throw a bolt back or two, but this is something we could bum rush that door with if we get caught as we're trying to escape with the rocks under the door. Maybe. Might be able to take a hit or two, y'all.
Hey, they just stole your book.
The ancient one kind of looks at it. He's like, I've never seen someone try to use the scrap metal in here in such a manner before. Perhaps it was good of us to put our faith in the Chosen One and the help that she would bring.
Let's hear
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, I'd say let's start taking account of what we have, because really what we want to do is how many of these tribes people are there?
I don't know an exact number off the top of my head, but I
roll D20.
I wouldn't say that there's more than 2 or 3 dozen of them here.
Okay.
Okay.
I would ask the ancient one if there are more of them on this ship.
In fact, let's see here. You could roll a think here. You could roll a leadership roll. I know this is like persuasion, quote unquote leadership, but if we just think of leadership in general, as a general concept, because I do want to give you the benefit of a higher number here, unless you just want to roll against your brains, just a straight up brains roll, because I don't really see anything else that would really apply to this. But give me you can either do, if you want a better chance, you can roll persuade leadership or a brains roll here. There may be some information that as you start thinking.
I got a 7.
This, oh well, that's probably gonna beat either of those. But with the amount of people on this ship, the amount of quote unquote slaves, right? And also the size of the ship and the amount of frogmen, fishmen, whatever you want to call them, that you saw like on the rather long tram ride from the hangar to here. you're starting to put together that you think this ship is probably running on a skeleton crew and is not necessarily transporting slaves to be like dropped off anywhere. Like, you don't think that what they are transporting right now are the people cargo. You think that these people are probably just the slaves for the ship, and what they're probably doing right now is transporting the machinery that's in this room. There's a lot of machinery. I'm bad at drawing machinery, so I didn't draw a lot of it. But there's a lot more of like the machines and stuff, like the claw things and the drills and like the big mine carts. There's a lot more of that than what I drew because I'm bad at drawing it. Yeah. So you think
I would ask Flash about those machines. Sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jeff. Go ahead.
I was
Jeff.
just gonna do a quick recap. So you think they're not transporting people; they're transporting machinery, and that they're probably working on a skeleton crew. Like, you don't think that there are as many hydronauts. That's what the aliens are called, just for easier reference. You don't think that there's as many hydronauts on this ship as there could be if it was at like working at full capacity.
Gotcha. Okay, I would ask Flash to take a look at the equipment and see if there's anything that could help us against I'm sorry, I already forgot their name.
Hydronauts.
Hydronauts. To defeat hydronauts with guns.
Okay. I pass out the reflective material I found, then I go through rummaging some more through that tech, looking for anything that maybe could be used for offense, since we got a little of that defense. I pass.
So you know that there really isn't much in the way of like guns and stuff in here. There's a few more pieces of like rebar and things that have been broken or filed down a little bit to be like pokey sticks, you know, sharp pokey sticks. But you're not getting any like ballistics. There's no like, unless you were gonna throw the rebar sticks, there's no like ranged options. It's basically spears.
I hold up the rebar and I say, well, rebarring that there's stuff in here I ain't found, I think what these bashing rods is about all we got.
You said we could throw the rebars?
Yeah, like you could throw them like spears.
Awesome. I'm gonna take a rebar.
Okay. So you have one, you know, about 3 foot long to about a meter long, pointy piece of metal. I will remind you though that you guys did have 2 like atomic pistols, and those fish men, the hydronauts, had like cattle prod like shock sticks. You know, without playing the game for you, those things have to be somewhere, right?
I mean, still on the ship, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Because they didn't take the weapons, they just took us.
Yeah, they took the weapons from you and brought you here.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Well, we got rocks to hold open the door. We got sticks what to hit their glass domes with, which seems good.
Right.
And then we got reflecting things, rocks, and sticks. I mean, we basically are like hunter-gatherers minus the hunting or the gathering. We just need to punch some frogmens and some fish folk. You know, depending on what you prefer their nomenclature to be.
As we are coming up to the end of our episode here, I want to ask you guys how you would like to proceed. Obviously there's a encoded message here. Would you guys like to work on that in your own time over the course of the week and try and figure it out yourself? Like, we can do that, and if you can't figure it out, we can always like roll brains at the beginning of the next session and kind of just do it mechanically, like with rolls. Or are you guys not really interested in the puzzle at all, and we can just roll brains?
I am extremely interested in the puzzle.
Okay. Very good.
If anybody else
and-
wants to also go through with it, they can also funk around with it. So
Sounds good to me.
So, I'm very interested in the puzzle, and I've already solved it.
Oh,
Really?
He is a doctor, after all.
it's true.
how about we maybe we end on that? That's a pretty triumphant thing.
Yeah, like
Sure.
your character wakes up on the
I love
ground
it.
with a bottle in his ass and is like, "I've got it."
Eureka!
Perfect.
Oh my gosh. All right. I mean, I'll since you were interested in solving it, I'll leave it up to you whether or not you want Abstracto to
do.
take a swing at this right
Good.
now.
A good captain doesn't do everything herself. A good captain leans on the strengths of her crewmates. So,
All right.
Dr. Abstracto, I see a light in your eye, as though you have understood something complex. What's going on behind the scenes?
So Dr. Abstracto writes down what he had figured out and shares it with the captain.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Wow.
So let me see. Is this actually correct? I think it probably is.
It looks like it's one up from everything else, from each of the letters.
Yeah.
One down. Whatever letter you see, it's the letter before it.
Yeah. Nice. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, that looks pretty close. I think the only thing you missed is a line that says top secret, but yeah, that's not overly.
Well, it's because he's decoded it now, so it's no longer top secret. It's like bottom secret.
Omitted details. That's awesome. That's so great. I love it.
Beta alpha, beta 5 alpha 1. Yeah, long live the resistance. Agent X. Yep, that is indeed correct. So for everyone in the chat, the secret code translates to, so at the bottom of the handwritten note that Captain Tandar read out earlier in the session was BSF ZPV IVNBO ? That phrase is what they need to say to Lefty Wainwright at the Lucky Canuck Grill in Calgary. The passcode to talk to him is "Are you human?" And then the encoded message on the back reads out as "Eyes only, top secret, valued kinsman. Enclosed find data tape detailing Project Smokescreen. Is a password protected beta 5 alpha 1. Long live the resistance, Agent X." With that being decoded, let me see here.
It says here, drink your Ovaltine.
Crummy commercial.
It's just the whole script to A Christmas Story. What was
Yeah.
I thinking?
It is.
You'll shoot your eye out, frog.
Okay. Yeah, so it looks like so the beta 5 alpha 1 was the password to get into the data tape that the Spaceship Zero should be able to read. And that will detail some more of the plans and kind of apparently tell you what exactly Project Smokescreen is. And with that, I think it is a good time to find someone to shoot a raid over to. And I would ask you guys in our private Discord chat group, maybe over the week, if you have some time, kind of brainstorm maybe a plan, moving forward. I don't know, like, what your guys' next steps would be, but you do have this goal of reading this data tape here. So, if we could, if you guys have time,
Okay.
that would be cool. But
Nice.
without further ado, let's go around the table again and let them know what else you guys do other than playing silly games with me. Substances used. What do you do during the week
Hi.
when you're not here?
Oh, well, during the week, I put my pants on one leg at a time. I
That's
always
an interesting way to do it.
I always cross my T's and dot my I's. And on my Twitch channel at Substances Used, I play retro JRPG titles. Right now, I'm playing through Chrono Cross. It's been a lot of fun. I'm enjoying it. Yada yada yada. But most of the time, you can find me on other channels playing D&D, like here on Foulsham Arts channel, or on Steam Steel Murder with the beautiful GM Bert and other amazing people like Featherfall Tabletop on this coming Monday. So, look around. You'll find me somewhere.
Hell yeah. Frenden, where can they find you and what do you do?
Hi, I'm Frenden. I've never accomplished anything in my life, and I plan on keeping it that way. I am as anonymous as it gets. And with that in mind, I bid you all adieu. But thanks for having me.
Fair enough. Jentendo, where can they find you? Doing what you might just have been doing. Was that a dice? Was that a die that I saw?
That was a die. I'm currently inking a new set of dice that I just poured yesterday. You can find me on my channel sometimes. I haven't been streaming for like the last 2 weeks, but I'm hoping to get back on that train. So I should be streaming this coming Monday. If not, then I'll just be making dice silently on my own and speaking to no one. That's me.
Eventually, I'm gonna get me a set of those dice.
I don't sell them. I don't sell them, Goodman Games. Okay, I don't sell them. All right, they're free. I give them away to people. So yes.
Hey, you don't gotta apologize to them on my channel. Abstracto, where can they find you and what do you do?
I am Dr. Abstracto, and speaking of doctorly things, I'm in school for psychology, and that's mostly what I do, aside from coloring for your host here, and working for Oneshi Press.
Indeed, and speaking of your host, that's me. You can find me here on this channel. I'm getting back into my normal swing of things. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, I do art. I tend to the comic side of things. Currently working on a couple of fantasy western themed short stories for a book that we are going to do a Kickstarter for later this summer. If you guys go to the link there, foulshamart.com/join, you can hop on the mailing list. There is a 6-page preview that you can get right now for free just by joining the email list. And then you'll get all the updates. You'll know the progress that I'm making and how quickly things are coming along. I'm hoping that by the end of summer, I will have finished my little sort of Kickstarter for Dummies course that I'm taking so that I know how to do things, properly when it comes to running the actual Kickstarter. Making the product, making the comic, I've done before. Like, I have a printer that I like, and I know how to, put all that stuff together. I just don't know how to do the Kickstarter side of things. So given a couple of weeks to finish up the drawing and a couple more weeks to like do the course. We're looking at the end of summer. I'm hoping like August, September maybe for the Kickstarter. But hop on that email list, guys, because that's going to be the main place. Well, that and here that you're going to get all the updates, but you're going to get cool previews of pages and like, free, short stories and all sorts of cool stuff if you hop onto that email list. And they'll also give you the links to like back the Kickstarter day one, right? So it would help me out a lot if you joined that list. Otherwise, you can find me right here. And you can find me, like I said, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. I usually stream between 3 and 7 in the afternoon Eastern, and if I don't make it to my afternoon slot, I try to do an evening slot at like this time, like 9 p.m. Yeah, we are going to raid. I don't have any, there's no Heroes Approved folks on, and there aren't any other like tabletop people that I particularly follow, but instead we're going to take you to a slightly different kind of stream, in keeping with our theme of old retro stuff, in this case old pulp sci-fi. We're going to take you over to Cartoon Research. It is an always on channel that plays classic cartoons, perfect for the vibe that we have here with the whole pulp sci-fi old-timey kind of stuff. So enjoy that, everybody. No need to like do any big fanfare with a raid or anything like that, because there's nobody hosting it. It's just people playing cartoons. So yeah, have a great night, everybody. Have a great rest of your weekend. I'll be back on Monday. Go visit all of our cast during the week when and where you can. Bye-bye. Wait, I need to use this hand to hit the button. Bye!